Okay, and then there was audio. Do let me know if this is too loud or not quite right, but welcome to the Collingrove Hill Climb live stream. If you've already been tuning in, you may have noticed that things haven't quite gone to plan today, unfortunately. This is the nature of any type of video. But usually when I make stuff, I can edit things out. When you're at a live stream, unfortunately, if you miss 90% of the day because you're running cables up a hill, there is no editing out. People notice that the live stream isn't actually live. Now, what you're looking at the moment here is actually some B-roll footage, as it's called. This is stuff I filmed a few months ago to be a bit of a gap filler when there's stuff happening on the track that is not really worth looking at, to be completely honest with you. At the moment we do have a little bit of an incident with a car being towed out of the midfield there. Now, I do apologise in advance. We've only got about 4 cameras up and running. I did mention the cabling issues. It's been quite the morning, but I did want to put something out just to say that I actually managed to do so. There's a bit of work to be done with colour correction with the cameras and different things like that, but we've got some of the angles more or less where I want them to be, and a lot of the hard work that's gone into it has proven to be worthwhile. Still some things to iron out, starting with probably some conduit so I don't have to walk up that hill running 150 metre cables all afternoon, but we are definitely on the right track. The live stream, the ultimate goal with this, of course, is to have a really high quality live stream coming from Collingrove on a near monthly basis. There's events out here every few weeks to a month, and if you're interested in getting involved with grassroots motorsport, this is a really good place to start. It's always quite an affordable way to get out and race, and it's also a really tight, twisty and challenging little circuit. There's a track extension coming quite soon as well, so keep your eyes out for that. But yeah, if you're new to motorsport, this is a great place to start. A lot of the cars you're going to see throughout the day here are things like MX-5 Mazda Miatas, Suzuki Swifts and Toyota 86s. Quite an affordable way to go racing. There's also some pretty extreme cars here as well. Things like our Formula Libre open wheelers and our Mitsubishi Lancer Evos. Always a sight to behold at a hill climb event. Now, while they figure out this tow, I might try to put us onto one of the segments that I've pre-prepared earlier. What you're looking at here is what I call Collingrove Close Up. It's one of about 6 different pre-recorded segments that I've created to be played throughout the day to break up those little moments where there's little incidents and things that require a bit of time for the track to go red. This particular segment is basically a macro lens on a DSLR camera set to video, capturing all of the pretty cars right up in super close detail throughout the paddock. Along with this, there is some plans longer term to have things like a midday podcast and you know, retro footage from across the history of Collingrove, and all of that stuff is well and truly in the works. Watch this space. And while this recovery takes place, I might just leave you for a couple of moments with some of this footage. And as you can see, our recovery crew has got the stricken Lancer off of the track. They'll slowly take this one back to the paddock. It was a bit of a moment in the bowl section, and I think the car is still right to move under its own power. So now that he's de-beached, we'll see this one get moving pretty quickly, and we'll be back to live racing in just a couple of minutes. And we are back live and racing. While we were having a bit of a breather there, I did quickly install another camera, so we'll see how that one goes. Bit of a moment there for our little Mercedes. Mentioned this is a fantastic venue to come and do grassroots motorsport. And when it comes to that, some of the quickest cars we see are the surprise packets, like this little Volkswagen Bora. The Audis are also really quick. There's something about those VAG group cars that really seems to suit this little track. Probably a little bit reminiscent of Germany's Nürburgring, to be honest with you, is Collingrove. GR Yaris, mighty little hot hatch. Now, like I said, there is a couple of issues with the live stream. It was quite the task to try to set everything up and get everything running today. Now that it's been done once, a lot of the stuff can stay in place and it won't be too bad for next time. So next time you see this stream, there will be 12 cameras, not 4. There'll be some audio coming from those cameras, which will be helpful. And there'll also be some cameras on the start line, so we can see these cars nice and close and nice and pretty with some really high quality cameras on the start line. There's a couple issues with the colour of these cameras, which I should be able to fix in post-processing, so that'll be sorted for next time. Speaking of surprise packets Audis, that would be Alexander Wilson. I don't need my sheet to know that. Incredibly quick car, this one. I've spoken to him about it previously, actually, because I said, how is this thing so fast? It literally looks like something that you just pulled up at Foodland. Alex, ever the humble, says, no, it's really nothing that special, to be completely honest with you. It's a couple hundred kilowatts and all-wheel drive and a pretty handy person behind the steering wheel, I've got to say. And he does a good job with the little Audi. Looks like we've got another one out here at the moment. Fantastic variety of cars out here at Collingrove. We get everything from XK Jaguars to brand new sports cars and supercars. It's really, really cool. Mitsubishi Cordia. One of the coolest things about Collingrove is, when's the last time you saw a Mitsubishi Cordia? It's a great place for people to campaign their nearly forgotten classic cars. And you see all sorts of them out here on a really regular basis. I touched on the Mitsubishi Evo earlier. The only worth talking about rival for the Evo when it comes to hill climb dominance is of course the Subaru WRX. This is a GC8 model, incredibly popular platform in local hill climbs, incredibly successful as well. If you go to a hill climb event, you'll be very likely to see more than a few Subaru WRXs doing more than their fair share of the trophy work. Up next we got Jeff Vardon, a real stalwart of local motorsport is Jeff. Looks like he's got a cone there, just a little scrape of that on the way through. That will invalidate this lap time for Jeff, unfortunately. Now, part of the stream, which I can show you, it's not going to work because it's not turned on. But what I can actually show you anyway is there is functionality for live timing, courtesy of the I don't think it's going to let me turn it on, unfortunately, but courtesy of the system that Collingrove uses, I will actually be able to have live timing displayed on this stream, so you'll be able to see the quickest cars of the day along with the current and last 3 cars as they go through. Next up off the line is Mark Gain in the Holden Tirana. Mark is a real regular out here at Collingrove. This beautiful green Tirana is always one of my favourite cars to see here. Sometime recently, actually, it's sported that brand new big rear wing. Still looks $1 million, so I've got to say, beautifully presented car and one worth seeing up close and personal. BMW M car. I do apologise, I don't have the names on me of the drivers or the vehicles, people. This is absolutely a test day, and this is absolutely a test stream. But for a lot of things, I am quite happy with how today's gone, despite all the hurdles and despite the fact we're running on half the cameras we should be. I believe this would be Peter Sendy. He's got a car like this. He's also got a couple of Holdens, big SS and a Club Sport. And he's really, really handy driver behind the wheel is Peter Sendy. Always enjoy seeing him live up to his name and have a good crack, both here at Collingrove and at other local events. He boarded the Audi train, I believe, because of Alexander Wilson. He wanted to see what all the party was about. And he's done a pretty good job adjusting to it from the big V8s. Seat Ibiza Cupra. Now, there is two of these cars that compete here. It's a partnership, a husband and wife partnership that runs in the Seats. Now, this brand was effectively a Spanish-built Volkswagen Golf GTI back in the 90s. Seat itself never, I believe, was sold in Australia, but the Cupra name, which is on the back of this car, is pretty familiar to locals nowadays because it is, of course, a luxury crossover SUV brand, part of the Volkswagen Group still. Mini Coopers are always incredibly popular out here at Collingrove. We often get the Hot Bricks Car Club coming out here with up to a dozen modern Minis. These Binnies, as they're delightfully called by their owners, are another really good platform for this type of sport. They're supercharged, they're front wheel drive, they're pretty friendly, but also a lot more capable than you may give them credit for. And of course all of these camera angles will be refined and played around with a little bit as time goes on, along with the doubling of cameras that I've mentioned a couple of times already. This car is super serious. Massive airtime over the middle of the track. It's rare to see that now. Since they've resurfaced this track in the last 6 months or so in preparation for the track extension, it's not as bumpy and as rough as it once was, so to see a car actually leave the road there is really rare. Really interested to see what lap times that car pulls as the day goes on. Believe that to be the GC8 WRX. I don't think that's Wes Crails, but I think Wes is up next. Like I said, the Subaru is a really common platform here at local hill climb events. 2-litre turbocharged boxer engines, all-wheel drive and 5-speed manuals in most cases. Makes for a really capable and chuckable platform. This one would be Wes. Wes, a real Subaru enthusiast. He's got this car. He's also got a late model VB WRX Club Spec. It's not an STI, but it's about as close to what Subaru has done so far this generation of the new Rex. The big wing, the big brakes, the whole bit. Wes is a really capable steerer and is always around the sort of 35-second mark in that little GC8 WRX. Rajitsky coming up in the R32 Skyline. First saw him appear out here probably 12 months ago. Not sure if he'd been coming here for a bit longer than that. But it's fantastic to see one of these cars out. Always a little bit sideways and a little bit dramatic is Rajitsky. But you don't see these cars getting used like that very often anymore. Fantastic for Kim to be taking that car out and about. Next up, Evo 7, the Captain Thread car. Another real regular at local motorsport events. Has been doing it for a really long time. This Evo season campaigner. Little bit of a lift-off moment there. Looks like he's gotten out of it. And may have hurt it, I think. He's sort of taking it easy on his way back to the pits. But the car is still moving under its own power. Next up, this beautiful air-cooled 911 first appeared out here in a come and try section the Collingrove hill climb a little while ago. Has been a real regular ever since. And something I often say when I'm on commentary here at Collingrove is I love watching cars like this and old MGs and things like that run up the hill, because it's an image that you could have seen easily when these cars were new. Absolutely historic piece of tarmac is Collingrove. Volkswagen Bora heading through in a bit of a hurry. Absolutely bashing the limiter. I do apologise for the audio issues, but we will have that up and running hopefully in time for our next live stream coming up at the next hill climb here at Collingrove. Now, oftentimes when we run out here, we get up to sort of 7 or 8 runs per car throughout the day. Collingrove, I mentioned, is a very affordable and amateur-friendly way to come and do car racing. They run a couple of series throughout the year, the Ray Pank Winter Cup and the Collingrove Challenge Trophy as well. And ultimately, all these cars are running in their own classes, so you don't need to be out there beating the really, really fast Mitsubishi Evos and the open wheelers and things like that. You're competing against other cars with a similar engine capacity and similar sort of modifications, so it's nice and fair. Now, every class, of course, does have its own records here at Collingrove. Quite a few of those record holders are regulars here, and you'll see names appear across various record groups. People will often go out, set a record, prove a point, win a trophy, then go buy a new car and try it all over again. But then you also get people who own the same car for decades and just refine and improve and come back a little bit faster time after time. Now, I can see the cars starting to line up for their next session. And while they do so, we're having a little bit of a breather here. So I'm going to take a moment and leave you again with some of that pre-recorded footage that I was speaking about earlier.